If you've clicked on this video, chances are you're new to the call center world. Maybe you've just been hired, you're preparing for your interview, or you've completed your training and are about to take your very first inbound calls. Hi, my name is Chloe from CallCore, the channel where we help you thrive. I'm glad you are here. In this video, we'll give you practical tips to help you successfully handle and wrap up those first calls. Even if you don't know everything yet, you might be imagining a worst case scenario. Being thrown into the deep end on day one, handed a headset and a crash course, and expected to just start calling. And yes, while in some centers that happens, but most companies offer a nesting phase first where you shadow other agents, listen in on real calls, and get extra coaching. Sometimes you'll take your first calls with a trainer or coach by your side. But eventually, the moment comes when you're on your own. What you do have is your training, your knowledge base, and the internal tools. And those are important. But in this video, we're going to show you that knowledge alone isn't the most important thing during your first calls. What matters most is your structure, your presence, and your ability to guide the conversation, even if you don't know all the answers yet. We'll break down what that looks like and how to stay in control of the call while showing empathy and professionalism. Let's get into it. Number one, understand your role first. Before we get into tips and scripts, it's important to fully understand and clarify your job. As a call center agent, you're the link between the company and the customer. On one hand, you're representing the company's interests. On the other, you're the customer's guide, helping them understand where they stand, what their options are, and supporting them within the company's policies and systems. Basically, you are an advisor to the customer, helping them navigate solutions. A representative of the company, protecting the business rules. A bridge between both sides. When you understand that you're both a representative and an advisor, it helps you strike the right balance between protecting the company's interests and truly helping the customer. This awareness naturally shapes your tone, your empathy, and the way you guide the conversation. And that's exactly where rapport comes in. In a call center context, building rapport isn't just about being friendly, it's about creating trust and cooperation fast. It means showing the customer that you understand their situation, that you're listening, and that you're genuinely here to help, even when you're working within company rules. Rapport turns a routine interaction into a human one. It lets the customer feel supported, even if the solution isn't perfect. And when they trust you, they're far more likely to stay calm, follow your lead, and accept the resolution you offer. Number two, stick to the structure and stay in control even when you're unsure. During the first calls, your number one focus is not solving the issue or answering the question immediately. That is important, of course, but more important is keeping the structure of the call intact. This means keeping the conversation going and showing control even when you're still unsure of the technicalities. Because in your first calls, you might not know everything, and that's totally okay. What is essential is that you maintain structure and control of the interaction. This doesn't mean you need to dominate the conversation. It means guiding it with calm confidence so the customer trusts that you're taking them somewhere useful. When you have a clear structure in mind, you always have something to fall back on, even if you're unsure of the exact answer. Structure gives you the ability to, first of all, lead the call confidently rather than just reacting. Secondly, it gives you the ability to buy yourself time to look something up or ask for help without stagnating the conversation. And thirdly, you show the customer that you're in charge, not lost. Even when you say, let me check that for you so I can give you the correct information, you're still in control. You're managing expectations, setting the tone, and guiding the experience, all without needing to know everything up front. Customers don't need you to be perfect. They need to feel they're in capable hands. Number three. So, what does a well structured call actually sound like? Well, here's a simple flow you can follow. It is especially helpful when you're just getting started. First, begin with a professional but friendly introduction. Set the tone with a warm, confident voice. How you start really matters. Next, listen carefully to the customer's issue or question. Let them explain fully and then reflect it back to show you've understood. That alone can build a lot of trust. Then, ask a few follow-up questions to get to the heart of what they really need. Stay curious. After that, go ahead and verify their identity. Ask for whatever info your system needs, like their name, account number, or other personal details. Once that's done, start looking for the solution. Use your tools, check your knowledge base, maybe even put them on hold while you double-check with a coach or teammate. Then, when you're ready, present the solution or next steps clearly. Keep your tone calm and confident, even if the answer isn't perfect. If they push back or have concerns, handle those with patience and empathy. Remember that you're not just solving problems, you're guiding the whole experience. A good tip here is to anticipate common objections ahead of time. Think about the questions or complaints you expect to hear often and prepare clear responses for them. Having a few go-to phrases or mini scripts ready can help you stay calm and sound confident, even under pressure. And finally, wrap things up professionally. Make sure everything's clear, ask if they need anything else, thank them for calling, and close on a positive note. Number 4, focus on identifying the customer's needs, both the practical and the emotional ones. At the start of a call, your main goal isn't to rush into a solution. It's to truly understand what the customer needs. That means actively listening to what they say, but also picking up on what they might not say directly. On the surface, a customer might say their device is broken, but what they actually want can vary. Are they looking to get it repaired? Hoping for a replacement? Asking for a refund? Or maybe they just want someone to clearly explain their options. These are the explicit needs, and asking good, structured questions helps you uncover them. But there are also underlying needs, the emotional layer. Some customers want to feel reassured. Some want to vent and feel heard. Others want clarity or control over the situation. This is where soft skills and empathy come in. You're not just solving a problem, you're also giving the customer a sense that they're being taken seriously. So, early in the call, your main focus should be on a few key things. Really listening to what the customer is saying and summarizing it back to show you get it. Asking clarifying questions to better understand what they actually need. Paying attention to their tone. Are they confused, frustrated, anxious? And most importantly, letting them know their issue matters and that you're here to help. You don't have to promise anything outside company policy, but you can offer your attention, professionalism, and effort, and that makes a big difference in the tone of the call. Number 5, use scripts and empathy statements, especially when you're still learning. In your first few calls, your most valuable tools won't be technical knowledge or product details. They'll be soft skills, empathy, active listening, and how you sound to the customer. You're building a bridge of trust, and you can start doing that from call 1. That's why we're giving you easy-to-use scripts and sample statements. These aren't magic words. They help you sound confident, calm, and empathetic, even if you're still unsure inside. By combining these phrases with the right tone and a structured approach, you show the customer that they're in good hands, even when you're checking with a coach or asking second-line support. You're not pretending to know everything. You're managing the call like someone who cares and takes ownership. That's the key. You're already acting like a helpful, reliable agent. These tools help you do just that, from your very first day on the floor. And if the customer throws objections or pain points your way, or says something you can't fix right away, you may need to escalate, ask for help, or schedule a follow-up. That's part of the process. During the first calls, you might want to keep some of the following statements ready to convey empathy and handle objections and pain points. For example, when you want to show that you understand the problem, I understand what you mean. That really does sound frustrating. I get that this wasn't what you expected. Let's see what we can do. When you want to show empathy without promising too much. If I were in your shoes, I'd probably feel the same way. Thanks for your patience. I know this isn't ideal. When you don't know the answer. That's a great question. I want to make sure I give you the right answer. Can I check something quickly? Let me just verify that so I can give you the best possible support. When the customer throws an objection to the solution you are providing, that makes sense. Let me see if there's another way we can approach this. I know this isn't ideal. Let's walk through the next best steps together. And here is a pro tip. Avoid over-apologizing. You don't need to apologize unless it's truly necessary. Saying sorry too often can suggest the company is at fault. Instead, focus on acknowledging the situation and taking action. For example, rather than saying, sorry for the wait, you could say, thank you for your patience. Number 6, use your tools and don't be afraid to ask for help. In those first weeks on the job, you're not expected to know everything. You're still connecting the dots between training and real conversations. If you receive a simple question and you know the answer, great. If not, ask for help. That might mean a quick hold to check with a coach, sending a message in team chat, or looping in a more experienced agent. That's normal and even expected. What matters most is that the customer feels confident in you. Even if you're still figuring it out, your tone and structure should say, I've got this, I'm working on it for you. Again, this is where soft skills matter more than technical knowledge. Own the moment with calm, clear communication. For example, that's a great question. I'm going to double check to make sure I give you the most accurate info. Let me quickly look this up so I can help you the best I can. This shows transparency, professionalism, and care, and leads to building trust, even as you're still learning. Always remember what the customer really wants to feel, that someone's taking their issue seriously, that someone's going to do something, and that their experience matters. And if you can communicate that clearly, you're already doing a great job. So, in conclusion, to survive your first inbound calls, remember, it's not about having all the answers. It's about how you manage the call, how you structure the conversation, and how you show you're there to help. You set the tone with your intro. You gain trust by actively listening and using statements that show understanding. You navigate with your knowledge-based tools and support channels. And you build rapport through empathy, calm communication, and realistic expectations. With each call, you'll learn more. And the more you learn, the more confident you'll sound. But even in those first calls, your structure, tone, and empathy are your greatest tools. In the next videos, we'll dive deeper into all of the aspects we covered in this video. How to ask questions to identify the customer's needs, how to adapt to different communication styles, how to strengthen your soft skills like de-escalation and negotiation, and many, many more. You've got this. Let's keep growing together. Thank you for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear your input.